What's up, guys? Dave here from JDH Reptiles. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a week since I had a video. I need to take some time for myself, take a little break, and now I'm back. So today's video, we're going to talk about our breeding season, a little bit about what we typically do and what we're going to do this year to change that up a bit. So typically, what we would do is come October, whether it be beginning, middle, end of October, once we see some girls bull wrapping, we would start pairing them with the males we want them with. This was before we had our ultrasound. So basically, we would pair a male, we'd put a male into a female's tub, and from there we would keep them in from Saturday until Tuesday. So they had, 4 days to hopefully lock and copulate. If we saw them lock before Tuesday, the next time we checked them and saw they were unlocked, we would separate the male. If we didn't see a lock as of Tuesday evening, I'd pull them apart. I say pull apart, I mean I'd remove the male from the female's tub. And then I would try again the following week. And I would do this over and over and over. If there was a lock, what I would do is I would wait 3 to 4 weeks before I would pair them again. But still, this routine would happen multiple times, and sometimes the males would be with a female. They'd be introduced tons of times. We'd see locks. There are times we get between 4 and 8 locks a year between a pairing, and really it's unnecessary. But if you don't have the means for tracking follicle growth, it's kind of one way to do it. I know some people do it per shed cycle, and it's really just whatever works for you. For the most part, for us, it worked pretty well. We ended up with 29 clutches this year. We had like 8 or 9 females that didn't go. So, we obviously missed there. Whether it be some of the females, we had a couple that just didn't continue to feed, so we didn't breed them. But then we had some that we locked, we had like 5 or 6 locks with, and it just went nowhere, whether they reabsorbed or whatever the case may be. So this year we have the ultrasound at our hands. We did have it a little bit last year, but this year we could start the entire season using our ultrasound. And we're going to use the Caxton 5600. There is a link in our channel, or there's a post, I should say, in our channel of a video of me showing not only how it's used, but showing the unit itself. You can check that out if you'd like. But what we're doing this year is we've already started ultrasounding. Matter of fact, we've already started breeding. But with the ultrasounding, what we do, we start with this rack, as this is our older animals. I say older as they're 2 or 3 years old, they're proven breeders, etc. The next rack over, that one has a lot of our new females, and a lot of like second year girls in there, as well as some of our large females, because we have some of our 70 series tubs down below there. But what we plan to do, and what we have already started doing, is we ultrasound, actually, I think it was the 3rd week of September, so I could get an idea. We track weights and we track ultrasounding. So like on these tubs, I have the date in September and what their weight was, the date in October and what their weight was. And then once I see any follicle growth starting around 8 millimeters, I track that. And then what we'll do ideally is we'll introduce our male to our female, typically the first time in between 8 and 12 millimeters. From there, we like to go to the second one around. Their second pairing somewhere between 17 and 22 millimeters. And then the third pairing, these are all, hopefully we get locks at these times. But the third pairing, we're going to be somewhere between 27 and 32, 33 millimeters. So we're going to track their growth, their follicle growth. We track their feeds. I don't track the feeds as much as I used to. I used to check every animal off when they're feeding so I know and write it down. I don't do that anymore. With our cards that we have on here, we take these and they're usually face up, and when they feed they're like this, and then once I go back around and check everybody, if they fed, they're face up. If they didn't eat, they're face down. So I can keep an eye on whether or not, you know, that animal ate last week or not by just the position of the card on the tub. But yeah, going back to the follicle growth, so anything that starts around 8 millimeters or above, we're going to introduce our male that weekend if the male is not in shed. And of course, if the male is eating well, the weight is up, etc. So this week we had what, 2, 4, 7 pairings that we did. So a lot of these girls, like this one here, back in September was at 8 millimeters. I didn't pair her then, but this month she's at 10 mils already. So they've got their first introduction. This one here, back in September, was at 12.5 millimeter. I did pair them late last month. I think like the third week last month. And then last week I checked her and she was at 16 millimeters. So we paired them again. So it's been 3-4 weeks. So I probably will not pair, obviously, for about a month. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check her follicle growth here in November, see where she's at. And we're going to probably wait till she's in that, you know, 22, 24 millimeter range before we pair them again. This one here was at 9 mils. We got one over here that was at 9 mils. And same down there, 9 mils. So really they're all in their first time together. Now, again, what we're going to do is we paired them. If they don't lock this week that we've seen, then next Sunday or next Saturday, I'll pair them again. And I'll do that until I see a lock. So once they lock, then I won't do it again for at least a month. So we'll take a month from when they last locked. Probably in that 3 weeks to 4 week range, I will do an ultrasound. I will see where their follicle growth is, make sure they're growing. Remember, food in helps follicle growth. So as females start breeding, we'll probably start double feeding as well. We're going to amp up the food a bit because more food in will help grow those follicles as well. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on food. We're going to keep an eye on their follicle growth. And then we're going to pair only when necessary. So again, between 8 and 12 the first time, 17, 22, somewhere around there the second time, and then later in that 27 to 32, 33 mil range. That way we don't overwork our males. We don't introduce, you know, unnecessarily. If we see a female that's stalling, we might reintroduce again. Otherwise, if she's growing and hitting those milestones, we're just going to pair as need be. And hopefully 3 to 4 pairings at the most will get us some eggs from these females. So this season, grab my board here. I have our list here of all the males with the females we're wanting to pair with them. I know you can't see the board, but we're going to have, looks like about 56 pairings this year. A lot of our males are going to 2 to 3 females. I don't think we have any that are going to any more than 3. I think we tried to stop at 3. Let's see. Yeah, the most we have a couple. We have one that has 4 females, but that'll probably change. There's 1 or 2 of them there we're probably going to swap out. But typically we shoot for a male to see 2 to 3 females. So with that being said, you know, they shouldn't get overworked as long as we're pairing when necessary. As long as they stay on food and, you know, they keep, you know, doing what they need to do, they'll be fine. We usually pair roughly 2 to 3 females per male a year. And we've been very successful, thankfully. And this year we don't, you know, foresee any issues of doing the same thing. So you don't have to do 1 male to 1 female. You can put that male to multiple females. I know there are some people who do 4 and 5 females. And really, again, it just comes down to the condition of the male when he starts, the fact that he continues to feed through the year, and he continues to maintain good body weight, health, etc. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions you have about breeding, go ahead and put them down below. You can leave a comment, or you can email us at jdhreptiles@gmail.com. Check in the description for all of our links to our Facebook, our Instagram, our Patreon, Morph Market, of course, Till Valhalla Project, as well as usart.org. Don't forget to become a member. Support them, they support us. Again, back to this any questions anytime, go ahead and leave them down below. I'll do the best I can to get you an answer, or I'll answer it for you if I got it. This is our 4th season breeding. 2 years ago, right? Technically, I should say last year, but 2 seasons ago. So last year, we had a really rough season with our incubators malfunctioning. This year, everything went fantastic. We had no clutches that rotted in the incubator. Everything did great. So we're going to use the exact same incubator we did this year for the 22 season. Super excited about that. We got the last clutch still in the incubator. It's got about 28 days before we get to cut that clutch. And then outside of that, hopefully here in the next couple months, we start putting some clutches in our incubator for the 22 season. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it. I'll do an update midway through the season, let you guys know how things are going. Maybe we'll do an ultrasound video, a quick ultrasound video, because it could get pretty lengthy. Just show you what I'm looking for, and we'll discuss, you know, what our next step is at that time, etc. But yeah, guys, egg pulling, egg cutting, and update videos all through the season. Once we start getting the eggs, you're going to start getting them. Hopefully we don't have a super late season like we did this year. I think our first clutch dropped like in May. So hopefully we get some that drop here in, you know, January or February. That would be really awesome. This girl here has that potential, since she's already at 16 mils. You know, in our couple months, could be a January, February clutch. That would be awesome. But, you know, who knows? It's all up to them. I can't do anything but try and give the best opportunities when the follicles are there. So, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.